Hi and welcome back. In the last video I said we're going to look at the pages, but actually I think it makes more sense to look at the quote parser first. So what I've done is I've opened here the quote parser, and what we're going to do is first of all import our quote locators. And then we're going to create a class quote parser, and this class is going to be used to, given one of the specific quote divs, find out the data about the quote. Quote content, author, and tags. Now, this is going to make use of a new thing in Beautiful Soup that we've not looked at before, but nonetheless, that's the purpose of these projects, to introduce things. And that is that well, we're going to receive here in the init method a parent, and then we're going to say self.parent equal parent. Just to explain why I'm calling this parameter parent here. Going back to Chrome, what we're going to give our quote parser is this div tag. So that's going to be our first quote parser. We're going to give it this div tag, and our second quote parser, we're going to give it this div tag, and the third quote parser, we'll give it this div tag. Previously with Beautiful Soup, we looked at loading using Beautiful Soup the entire page, and then we were able to search on the entire page using Beautiful Soup. But actually, when you find one element with Beautiful Soup, such as say you find this div using Beautiful Soup, you can then search only in that element. So what we're going to do is our quotes page is going to find these elements, and is going to give each element to a quote parser object. And they are going to use that element to find their children. In this case, the children of this element will be the quote contents, the author, and the tags. Let's go back to PyCharm and quickly write these property methods here. The quote content is going to return well, it's going to get a locator. That's going to be quote locators.content, and then it's going to return self.parent.select1 locator.string. Notice how self.parent is going to be that div tag that encloses the quote, but Beautiful Soup allows us to select and search for within the parent. It doesn't have to be only on the page itself. It can be on any of the elements. Okay, then for the author, it's going to be fairly similar. The locator in this case is going to be the author locator, and then it's going to return self.parent select1 locator.string, so very similar. And finally the tags, the locator is going to be quote locators.tags, and it's going to return self.parent select locator. Again, this is going to select all of the individual tag items that are available. If you wanted, you could extract the text of each element by doing e.string for e in this. So this will be definitely an option as well. Okay. Now, this doesn't make a lot of sense until we have sort of joined our program together, and it all starts to make a bit more sense, believe me. I'm also going to add here a repr method that is going to return this quote, self.content by self.author. Okay. This is just so that when we run our application, we can print these quote parser objects out, and it may make a bit more sense. So far, what we will receive is a Beautiful Soup tag, that is the div that contains this quote. Within that div, there will only be one locator for the content, one for the author, and one for the tags. So we're not going to be able to get mixed up between different quotes at this level. Okay, now let's go over to the quotes page, and we can begin sort of joining the program together, and it'll start to make a bit more sense. I'll see you in the very next video.